Today we are heading into Glacier National Park in Montana to hike the Highline Trail, one of the best and most scenic hikes in the park. This will also be the toughest hike that we have ever attempted, clocking in at just under 12 miles with around 4,700 feet of elevation gain. Along the way, we will be visiting the Granite Park Chalet, infamous for the grizzly bear attacks in 1968 that would go on to change the way national parks operated around the country. I highly recommend reading The Night of the Grizzlies if you want to learn more about this crazy story. This hike is along the Going to the Sun Road, widely regarded as one of the most scenic drives in America. There are several different ways to do this hike. We are choosing to start at what's called the Loop, the only switchback on the road. We will be ending our hike at Logan Pass, essentially the epicenter of the park. Doing this will make our 12-mile hike nearly all uphill, which may sound weird to you. More on that later. Because this is a point-to-point hike, we are going to be parking our van at Logan Pass and taking the free shuttle back down to the Loop where we will begin our journey. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it is a frosty, misty morning. You ready to go?
Let's do it.
All right. So we intended on parking at Logan Pass, but we got to the parking lot at 7 o'clock in the morning and it was already full. This is the busiest we've ever seen it. It's crazy. So we ended up parking back there and we're walking up to Logan Pass about a half mile to get to our shuttle. So the shuttle that we're taking just got here, but Katrina's in the bathroom, so I guess we're waiting for the next one.
Do we miss our shuttle?
No, actually that one's going east, so.
Okay, perfect.
So you're right on time. She said that another one's coming soon.
Oh, perfect. Where would you like to sit?
Back's fine.
It won't make you car sick.
So the hike that we're doing is gonna end. It's gonna come this way and it's gonna end back up here. Plus we're gonna have a shuttle to ourselves. Goodbye, van.
Thank you. You have a good day.
Thank you very much. You ready for this epicness?
I'm ready.
You're
I'm
ready?
excited. I'm nervous.
You're nervous, but you're gonna crush it?
Yeah.
So the shuttle took us all the way down to the Loop, which is where we are right now, and it's the only switchback on this road, which is pretty cool.
It kept going and going and going and going.
It felt like a very, very long shuttle ride.
It was an insanely long ride.
And the whole point is we have to walk back
all
to
that way.
where we started. So, here we go. So the way we're doing this hike is we're starting here at the Loop, going up to the chalet, and then going slightly up back to where we started. We're not sure how we missed this, but according to this sign, we were about to gain 4,773 feet of elevation, which is a lot more than we were anticipating. And so you can see we're starting here, so it's going to be like a big up for 4 miles and then relatively flat up to Logan Pass.
Maybe I should just stay here.
Yeah, I think this is the highlight of the hike, so we should probably just turn around. It has been about 1/8 of a mile. 95 more to go. So we're doing this trail a little bit backwards because we're making it so we go uphill the whole way. Yeah, it might sound weird, but actually there's a couple benefits. Do you want to tell them?
Nobody's on the trail right now with us, and when we left Logan Pass, we seen at least like 30 plus people.
Like
and
within 1/8 of a mile, like packed together.
It was insane. And then also my knees hurt really bad if we go downhill. So if we can just avoid downhill and go uphill the entire way, my knees should be okay.
Yeah, so that's why we're doing it this way. And so far, So good, right?
So far, so good.
Haven't seen anyone else on the trail.
Not a soul on the trail.
So the first like half mile of this trail was downhill, and we were like, I thought we were supposed to be going uphill. And then it finally switched to going uphill like we thought. And that was 2 minutes ago. Yeah. And we've both already said we're tired. It's gonna be a long one. Yeah. How you feeling so far?
I'm tired.
We're doing good.
Yeah, honestly, like if we ran into a bear on the trail, it would be pretty easy for me to just play dead right now.
You're basically doing it already.
Just fall over. I think I could sell it.
So we're about halfway to the chalet, I think. And if you guys watched our last video, you saw our hike down to Porcupine Falls. And we've basically done the up portion of that hike twice already. And we have to do it 2 more times to get to the chalet. And then after that, we have another 7-mile like flat stretch. So it's definitely an intense hike for us anyway. It's funny, we pass a lot of people going the other way, which is downhill the whole way, which makes sense. And we're like the only people that are going up the hike, except for those horses that you saw. But I just know that I'll be excited when we stop and eat lunch and drink some water and stuff.
Lighten the load.
Feeling it on the pack, yeah. Got into the trees and the bugs came out.
They're bad.
We just got to about 3 1/3 miles and we hit 2,000 feet elevation gain, so we're doing it. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Those are the trash donkeys. Poor things.
They get to pack out everyone's trash that they bring up here.
They're like bear bait.
Oh, I never even thought about that.
Bear won't mess with no trash donkey.
Right.
Now you can see a little bit of where we're headed. Don't know if you can see the trail right here, but basically we're gonna end like there somewhere. But we're almost at our lunch break and Katrina's getting hungry and so am I, so she's just leaving me. Making good progress though. After 4 grueling uphill miles and 2,500 feet of elevation gain, we finally made it to the beautiful Granite Park Chalet. The chalet was busy with hikers coming from Logan Pass, the easy way. The chalet has been operating for over 100 years and you can still stay overnight with reservations. We stopped to have a quick lunch before continuing on to Logan Pass. We just left the chalet and we are now officially on the Highline Trail. And so this is supposed to be like the super cool scenic part of the hike. And also it's relatively flat.
Yay.
And it's just like 7.5 miles or something, but fairly flat.
Fairly flat. So we got the hardest part out of the way.
Yep, and we got lunch done.
Yes. Yeah, so the whole way up, literally, I was just like motivated by I was like, when I get there, I get to have lunch. I just gotta keep going. That's all I could think about
It
the
worked.
whole time.
We made it.
We made it, so it worked.
So we're walking along what's called the Garden Wall, which is along the Continental Divide. And if you don't know what that is, I don't really either, but it has something to do with the watersheds in our country. So like on this side, the water all goes this way, and on the other side, all the water goes that way. And it like divides the country like that, or the continent, I guess. We just stumbled upon one of the biggest things. What is that, marmot?
It's a marmot.
Pika?
It's a cute big one, I guess.
He's huge.
He's just munching, look at him.
He's just munching. That was cool.
That was cool. feels so good. It's cold.
She's gone mad. Whatever the distance and elevation that this hike says, I did double for filling it. We're getting pretty close, we think. We probably have like a mile or maybe a little less than a mile to go. I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell. My watch died, so we can't track us anymore. Also, we ran out of water like a mile ago maybe. And so if this video never gets posted, you know where to find us. So we brought 5 liters total, so 2.5 each, and we drank it all before the whole hike was over. Who needs a safety rope when you got 2 sticks? Okay, we're not totally sure if we're reading this right, but here, let me show you some. So we're at Logan Pass and trailhead destinations, the loop, which is where we started. Distance, 11.8 miles. Total elevation gain, which is what we would have lost. Total elevation loss, which is what we would have gained.
Look at this number.
Jesus.
We've been going uphill.
And look at the map too, here's a good.
Oh, that's a
Started
great
here,
indicator.
ended there.
But truly, we started here, ended here.
Exactly.
That's a new record.
Oh yeah, that's easily the hardest hike either of us have done,
Oh,
by a long
far.
shot.
I'm so proud of us. That was insane.
And now we have another half mile back to the van. Just dropped off Katrina at the visitor center so she could go to the bathroom. And I'm going down to get the van another half mile down the road. And I'm gonna bring it back up to her. So one thing about this hike that we just did that had me really excited was the possibility to see some wildlife like mountain goats, bighorn sheep, maybe grizzly bears, cool stuff like that. We walked, I would say 11.7 miles out of the 11.8 and ran into one goat. So literally at Logan Pass we ran into a goat. So we should have just not done the hike at all, I guess.
Buddy, come here. Hi. Hi, buddy. Oh my goodness.
So I wanted to show you. Yeah, Clyde's excited. We've been gone for a long time. I wanted to show you a little bit about what we do with Clyde because in national parks, you're not allowed to take dogs anywhere. That kind of sucks because we like to hike and that's just kind of how it is. So what we do for Clyde is we put reflectix up. Those windows were covered. And so all of the windows were completely covered. And we have our roof fan taking air in and it's set on the highest setting. Then we have that fan on its highest setting going into his box. And then we have those two fans on their highest settings pulling air through the box. So basically, if you think about it, we got air coming in, down, and then through the box. And it's actually relatively cool in here. It feels really good. So, come here, buddy. Yeah, you had a rough day today all by yourself, huh? Yeah. So anyway, that's what we have to do with the dog. Kind of sucks, but being in a van really helps because if we were just in a regular car, you know, you wouldn't be able to do that type of thing and it'd be a lot more dangerous for him. But he is all good. He's just super excited and needs to see his mom. So we're gonna go get her. Now we just gotta see if Mama will find us. Yeah, she'll be here.
Sweetie pie, how are you? Hi. Did you have a good time? Oh, did you miss us? Hi, baby. Hi. How was he?
Great.
Oh, good. When it was taking a little while, I was getting worried. I was like, was something wrong with Clyde?
Oh no, it's relatively cool in here.
Oh, good, good.
Like it felt good coming in here and he felt like I felt him.
Yeah, yeah.
He felt fine.
Good.
Didn't drink very much water.
Then that means it probably wasn't very hot. So that's a good sign. Because if it was hot, he would have drank water.
Yeah.
Did you let him out yet?
No.
Okay, I'll let him out. We are both absolutely exhausted and we have to drive back to camp now. So we will see you guys there.
We finally made it back to our camp spot. It feels really good knowing that we have somewhere to go back home to after a really long day like this. It is actually 9 p.m. and we woke up at 4:30. So it's been a really long day, obviously, as you saw. But since this is what we're like right now, we are just gonna cut it here for the night and we'll probably come back tomorrow and just talk to you a little bit. What do you think?
Probably.
Probably? Good? Okay, she's already sleeping, so I gotta make her eat something and then we're going to bed. So, see you tomorrow.
Yo.
Good morning. We are in pain.
Ow.
Ow. So we're going to start the day off with a little Wim Hof. Call this hoffing. A little bit of breathing. So the rest of our morning, we are planning on making smoothies and watching Netflix, and that's it. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, so I did intend on filming a little bit more today, but it is now like 5:30 or 6 or something, and we just didn't do anything. So we didn't film anything, and that's okay. But we just wanted to say a couple things before we end the video.
So overall, that hike, we thought it was incredible, and we would definitely recommend it to anyone. It's very, very scenic, so whoever wants to like see the whole park, that's the hike for you. We loved the way that we did it from the loop to Logan Pass, and we would do it again that way if we had the choice. It really wasn't very bad on my knees at all, since it was mostly uphill the whole time. They got
very uphill.
very, very uphill. They hurt on the downhills, but like it got to only like a moderate level, I would say, and it never got too extreme where it wouldn't like go away, basically. And I didn't ever feel like I couldn't finish the hike, which was my biggest fear going into it, was thinking I would get like 6 miles into the 12 miles and feel like I couldn't go any further because of my knee pain. So it was worth it, and we're really happy we did it, and we loved that we had this opportunity to push us out of our comfort zone.
Yeah, so if you want to watch us do that some more, push ourselves out of our comfort zone, good idea. Subscribe to our channel because we'll probably be doing that some more.
Yeah, we're not stopping.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye, guys.